By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
Hey, what's going on? Episode 95 of 20 Tim Minutes. This is a podcast that focuses on mental health through humor, insight, and personal stories. I'll tell you what, I've done 95 episodes and I am not sick of my introduction. I added the, some people call me Tim, probably around episode 20 maybe. And I just love it. I think I have one of the best introduction music-wise of all time. Shout out to my friend Paul, who's a producer that made me that beat, and same with the outro beat. If you make it through my episodes, you should go through my whole episode and listen to the last one, or just skip ahead. Maybe that will give me a stat of a listen if you just fast forward to the end, which I need. Don't forget to go to 2010minutes.com to learn more about me and the podcast. You can go to my store, buy some merch. You can text me at 781-523-9333. I actually don't have to look at my screen anymore to remember that phone number. It's not my real phone number. It's like Google phone, so I don't have to give out my actual number and be harassed. Good thing is I haven't got a dick pic yet, so that's good. I don't think I'm popular enough to get a dick pic. Who sends dick pics anymore, you know? I do appreciate you guys checking out the podcast again. I do want to get into something serious. And I have to be serious from time to time, even though this is a comedy, but it's a mental health podcast as well. A friend of mine lost a friend of his to suicide, and it just breaks my heart. And we gotta do what we can do to help other people, even if they don't reach out to you, which is like the hardest thing. When someone's going through it, they don't reach out. That's how I was. I shunned everybody out. I didn't do anything. I just stayed in bed all day, didn't shower, called out of work. I was really down and out. And there'd be times I would reach out to people and like almost like a cry for help to see like if they would pick up on like what's going on. Even though I didn't think I was doing that, but looking back, I was doing that. And it's unfortunate because I don't think suicide is selfish, and that's my opinion. You might have a different opinion, and I always respect someone's opinion, even if it's ridiculous. No, I'm just kidding. And where was I going with that? It's not selfish because they don't want to burden anybody anymore, and I didn't want to burden anybody. So it's kind of looking out for other people in a weird, sick, and twisted way. But I get it. I really do. It's just unfortunate that some people actually go through it and it's that bad. It obviously was really bad for me, but I'm still glad I didn't go through with it because a lot of people would be very upset and you forget about that. And one time at one of these meetings I went to for the Plymouth County Suicide Prevention Coalition is one person said, I wish people that commit suicide could see their funeral beforehand or their wake and just see the amount of people that would come. Like I had a friend who overdosed and there was so many people there, and I don't think that was self-induced or like on purpose, but just goes to show you that death is just something that worries me. Losing somebody close to you is just awful, and it's such a tough feeling, especially when you're a really good friend to somebody and you know that they're struggling. You try as much as you can, and then you have that regret of being like, was I there enough? Could I have done more? It's like my fault, and it's really not. We all have our lives, and we all have to do what we have to do in our own lives. We're the most important people in our life. We got to make sure we take care of ourselves first before we take care of other people. I feel like some people, like parents, would be like, no, my kid comes first. But I feel like you wouldn't be able to take care of a kid if you weren't okay first, if you were going through depression. And hopefully that wouldn't be the case. But if you or someone you know is dealing with somebody that committed suicide or suicided, definitely try to keep in touch with them too, because I know they're going to be beat up really bad. Again, they just try to do what they can, and trying is half the battle. If not, it's like one of the biggest things that you can do is just try. So if you or someone out there that has experienced suicidal tendencies or feeling suicidal, please dial 988 or text 988 or go to the website for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. it sounds like, I'm not gonna say it sounds corny, but like to me, if like I was in that position, I'd be like, no, fuck that number. Like I don't need that. But if you don't have someone that you can reach out to, I'll say this: anybody that's thinking about suicide, give it a chance. That's all I ask. Give a chance to calling that number. Give a chance to talking to a friend openly about it. Give it a chance to even talking to a stranger about it, your therapist, whatever. Just give me that shot of trying to get help at least once. And I'm glad someone knew I was going through it, and when it got me out of it. And there's different ways to do it, and I want to go over that a little bit, which is like I wasn't going to go over this topic, but just going through this. And when I was driving to work one day, I was driving by this train track, and unfortunately a girl got killed by a train not too long ago. I think it was the beginning of the summer, and there was different reasons that people, like, it was on like the Facebook group, you know, those where people like, oh, they did, like, I saw that, like, blah, blah, blah. And there was a sign there for 988 that I've never seen before, and I know it wasn't there for long. So again, I don't like talking about other people's like business or whatever, but I feel like if it's in the news or on social media, I can like maybe mention it. But maybe she did commit suicide on purpose. But it's really good that they put a sign there. And what else is unfortunate too is like, man, like I really feel like you always got to think of the other side. It is terrible for families, friends, and coworkers, and who have you when they have to deal with somebody that commits suicide. But there's the other way of like when you commit suicide, it's somebody like a train conductor having to deal with that. Or like people that jump in front of cars on the highway. Like this stuff happens. I know this stuff happens for a fact. Again, I don't really talk about what I do for work, but let's just say I know for a fact that this stuff happens. And I know people that have to deal with that as well. And Frank King, who I interviewed, he's the mental health comedian. He like is very reverse psychology. He's like, if you're going to do it, don't jump in front of the train and ruin someone else's day. And it kind of gets like a laugh, or like kind of, it does like put into someone's head that they're like, man, maybe I shouldn't be selfish in that way. And I think that's a selfish way to do it, is when you involve somebody else that is just a random person. I like that about Frank King. If you haven't seen that interview or listened to that, go back and listen to my interview with Frank King. It's a lot of people's favorites. But asking someone if they are suicidal won't put the idea in their head or encourage them to go through with it. That's a big one. So if someone's feeling suicidal, or you see symptoms in them that aren't normal, ask them straight up. Do you feel like you're going to harm yourself? Checking in and asking will likely make talking about a difficult subject easier and lessen some of the shame and guilt they might be feeling. When you ask from a place of genuine care, which you should, and concern, you create a powerful emotional bond that helps you bring someone who is struggling out of isolation and darkness and back to a place of feeling connected to others. That's a huge one. I could see that with people being concerned about bringing up suicide to somebody, but like, how else could you really do it? You could maybe call 911, or maybe call like another person that's closer, but for the most part, you can just ask them straight up, and don't be afraid to do that. Couple signs for immediate risk. There's immediate risk and serious risk. And again, give them the phone number, do what you can do, talk to them, anything like that. I'm always out of breath on this show, and I don't know why. I like run up and down the stairs to make sure I have everything, and I always forget. Like I was about to record and I forgot my water, which I need to take more sips of because I'm on my Adderall, took a coffee. I'm ready to go. I woke up on a good note today, and I'm glad I can talk about this subject. Not with ease, but something like, I'm just glad I can talk about this. Let's say that. So immediate risk, talking about wanting to die or to kill oneself is a big one, obviously. Looking for a way to kill oneself, such as searching online or obtaining a gun, which is something I was looking to do. My cop buddy, so like I had my gun license in one city, and then when I moved to another city, it expired. So there was conflicting reports from both cities that like you have to go to the other person, you have to go to the other person, and I was just like, I'm done. The reason for I was trying to do that was because I wanted to obtain a gun and shoot myself in the head. And I feel like that's pretty heavy just to say right out, but it was one of those like considerations. So I was trying to get my gun license renewed, unless I wanted to go find illegal guns, but I don't know how someone does that. Talking about feeling hopeless or having no reason to live, those are obvious immediate signs that you should be serious about. Serious risk, talking about feeling trapped or unbearable pain, talking about being a burden to others, increasing the use of alcohol and drugs, acting anxious or agitated, behaving recklessly, sleeping too little or too much, withdrawing or feeling isolated, showing rage or talking about seeking revenge, displaying extreme mood swings, which mood swings were a big one for me for being bipolar. And yeah, I was going through a lot, and I know people also go through a lot. And I had a conversation with somebody, and they said that when people say, oh, somebody has it worse than you, or somebody deals with the same thing, most people get annoyed, but some people like that. They like to know that they're not alone. So if you feel like when you say, like, don't be afraid to say that to people, in a way. And if they get upset, they get upset, and be like, I'm sorry, that's not what I intended to happen when talking to you. But I know there are people out there that like to hear that there are other people struggling. Not that like they're happy they're struggling, but happy to know that it's normal to feel like a certain way, because it is okay to not be okay. So let's talk about how to talk to somebody with this, because it's not easy. Obviously, ask questions right away. Are you going to commit suicide? Do you have any idea, plan to commit suicide? Big one. That's how you start off. Actively listening. Make sure you listen for real. Don't just be like, yep. Okay, like actively listen, make sure you're obtaining what they're saying, re-ask them questions, reassure them, be judgmental, be non-judgmental when talking to somebody about that. Don't be saying like, oh, that like you're gonna, like, you could say so many different things. I can't think of one because I'm not about that life. I'm about helping people. I'm a very non-judgmental person overall. I don't judge anybody for anything. Everybody's different. Everyone has their own lives. I get that. But being non-judgmental, that is an easy word to spell and say, and I can't say it. Judge non-mental. Encourage them to seek help. I feel like that one could be annoying if that was said to me, but that's another good one to say and see, is have them talk to a medical professional, even if there isn't any health insurance on their side. There are so many options that you can find online. 988 is free. You can call that, get some help. They will help you, direct you to some resources that you can use. Respect their pace. They're not going to jump right out of the gates to go do it. Keep checking in on them once a day. Just don't even have to bring it up. Just be like, hey, how's your day going? What's new? Anything like that. Like, keep tabs on somebody. Don't just think that you did a lot by just asking. Again, that's a great thing to start off with, is just asking if they're going to commit suicide, but keep checking in on them. If you really love and care about somebody, you won't think twice about it, and you'll know what to do. I believe in the people on the other side. They'll know what they can do, and hopefully this can help somebody else out. Oh yeah, that was my last one. I was just going off the dome on that. Keep checking in, but don't beat yourself up. If you're not getting through to them, doesn't mean you have to stop, but it is discouraging when you try to help somebody or give them tips or give them suggestions and don't go through with it. Be patient. It's okay. So I'm glad I got to talk about that. Hopefully that will help somebody in need. So let's talk about work burnout, which is something I go through a lot. Thanks to the Hell Yes or Hell No podcast for suggesting this. Here's some things that you might realize that you have work burnout if you don't already know. I feel like work burnout, you know right away. You're like, I am burnt out at work. Most people hate their jobs. That's just a fact. Going into work, you hate it. Find something you love, or try to. I like my job. Do I love it? No. Would I marry it? No. Do I hate it? No. Have you become cynical or critical at work? Yes, that's me. Do you drag yourself to work or have trouble getting started? Yes. Hopefully my job isn't listening to this, but I give 100% when I'm at work. I don't get work burnout at my work. I give 110%. My views are not connected to my job, by the way. I do not speak for my job. I do not, my ideas, whatever, my point of view on things, nothing to do with my job. Have you become irritable or impatient with coworkers, customers, and clients? Do you lack the energy to be consistently productive? Do you find it hard to concentrate? Do you lack satisfaction from your achievements? Do you feel disillusioned about your job? Are you using food, drugs, or alcohol to feel better to simply not feel? Have your sleep habits changed? Are you troubled with unexplained headaches, stomach or bowel movements, or physical complaints? So if you have a tough shit to come out, that means you might have work burnout. Like some guy's on the toilet right now, like having troubles with his bowel movements. He's like, fuck, I blame this on work. Shitty work. Sleep is such a big one. That is such a huge one for just feeling better every day. I got 8 hours of sleep and I'm feeling great. Woke up, took my Adderall, boom. Had a drink of coffee, boom. Recording my episode like 6 hours late, boom. I'm killing it right now. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling motivated. So let's start the show. So if you feel like every day is a bad day, you feel like nothing you do is appreciated, you can't get a good night's sleep, those are big ones. Knowing that you have work burnout, you have trouble telling one day from the next, you feel unconnected from work, you don't take interest in your work anymore, you officially your performance is dropping, you feel exhausted all the time, you use drugs or alcohol, like I said, and you find it hard to concentrate. Thank you, Adderall, for helping me concentrate. So things to help you with that for work burnout, because it is a mental draining aspect of your life. Because we see our coworkers, clients, customers more than we see our family sometimes. Work is a big part of our life. It's like 60% of our life, which is sad. We sleep 8 hours, we work for 8 hours, and then there's 8 hours left of our day to do something. That could be draining on somebody real bad. Try to come up with something fun for you and your coworkers. My job, we do the Christmas grab on that Elfie website where everyone puts their name in and you get drawn a different coworker and you have Christmas. And if you feel like cynical about it or lazy, just do something like that. Be that guy. Don't feel like you're going to be judged, because there'll be some coworkers that are down for it. Stand up, move around. I do my calf raises at my desk. Got to get those calves up, my little chicken legs. Bwak, bwak, chicken, chicken, bwak, bwak. Project Pat, Chicken Head. One of my favorite songs of all time. Go listen to that. Pause this right now. Go listen to Project Pat, Chicken Head. How good was that song? Great song. Sleep and exercise is perfect. I'm fortunate enough to have a gym at my work. I've been pretty lazy at the gym. I'm losing a little bit of a weight, but I'm doing good. Think of how much you need that job. That is a big one. If you didn't have a job, or you didn't have that job, you wouldn't be able to pay your bills. You wouldn't be able to save. You wouldn't be able to have fun. You wouldn't be able to eat food. You wouldn't be able to do a lot of things. So try to appreciate and don't take for granted your job. Try to find the silver lining in your work. And then if you can, just fucking quit. If you have a chance to quit, to go to a different job, go for it. Make that leap. You only live once. Just be like, fuck it. I'm quitting. I'm out. 2 weeks? No way. But you should probably give your 2 weeks. Like, help the job out that helped you. They paid you. Give the 2 weeks. All right? It's just 2 weeks. And then what you can do, what people do all the time, they get their 2 weeks and they have sick time and then they just use all their sick time. That is such a move that people love to pull. It's like, yeah, I put my 2 weeks in. Oh, I have 2 weeks of sick time too. I'm going to be out. I got COVID-20. Find my replacement. Have a good one. I wanted to talk about this, and it's a problem that I have about being judged by others. I want to do so much more on social media, and I haven't been pretty active on social media. Like, I want to do more reels and more like memes and stuff like that, but I know I'm funny, but I don't think I'm funny, if that makes sense. And I feel like when I don't get enough likes on something, I'm like, that wasn't funny. Someone hates me. And there's going to be people out there that don't find you entertaining or find you funny or what have you. And I'm trying so hard to not care about that. I can't please everybody, and I wish I could. But if you're going through that, try to do what I'm doing and just not try to give a fuck. Just go for it. My big thing is my mood swings. Like some days like today, I'm in the mood to do it. I just had a meme I put out. Wicked funny. Skeleton flexing. And I wrote, explaining a meme is like explaining like a stand-up joke that you just saw. It's a skeleton doing the Hulk Hogan, and he has like one little muscle, and I was like, me after the gym when I eat one Adderall and have 3 sips of water, because I do that. People get nervous about taking Adderall and going to the gym because of their heart. I didn't think about that. I do that all the time. I should probably worry about my health more. Let's wrap it up. 3 things I'm grateful for today. Sleep. Got a great amount of sleep last night. I'm feeling good. I'm going into my days off tomorrow. You can't stop me for the next 8 hours. Video games. Video games have been putting me at ease lately, and I know that playing video games help your mental health, and you wouldn't think that. It's such like a thing that you should do from time to time if you play video games. I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing again. I'm not happy about this. I have logged 860 hours of Animal Crossing. That's 34 fucking days. That's pretty much me playing 24 hours for a month in 4 days. That's disgusting. And then Mental Health Awareness Day was yesterday, October 10th. And I put out a video for that, and I got a lot of likes. So I got to do stuff more like that. So even though that day has come and passed, we still can talk about mental health. It's still an important topic. Let's check up on ourselves and check up on others. I love you guys so much. Thanks for checking out 2010 Minutes. I hope you have a good one. Actually, real quick, Haley from Podcast 27 sent me a tweet, and it said, white people love saying have a good one, and I never felt so attacked in my life. But you know what? Have a good one. And we're clear.
This podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. If you are feeling suicidal, please dial 911.